Hi, my name is Sally Baker. I'm a therapist and I'm going to tell you there's a problem on Love Island. So let's find out what's been happening. Yesterday, I was invited onto GB News to talk about toxic femininity. And about a week ago, I was invited onto BBC North news programme to talk about misogyny in the villa in Love Island. So we've either got a problem with boys or we've got a problem with girls, or something's going adrift. So toxic femininity, they were asking for the definition of that, and I was saying it's, when we talk about toxic masculinity, it's about boys behaving within a very narrow definition of what's permissible for men emotionally.
As toxic masculinity is when men only operate within a very kind of narrow definition of emotional range, and that's kind of anger and then more anger.
Traditionally, society accepts that men get angry and accepts that boys get angry. It feels uncomfortable when men exhibit more emotional range than just anger. So that's toxic masculinity, is expecting men to behave within a really constricted range of emotions. Toxic femininity is the complete opposite. So if girls are raised to be compliant, well-behaved, amenable and nice, when girls behave in an outspoken way where they are quite aggressive or quite assertive in what they want to say, people are considering that toxic femininity. When for me, women behaving out of their narrow definition of what's permissible for women, that feels like a victory.
And toxic femininity seems to be around the idea that women are speaking their truth to power, speaking out, being quite vocal, being quite shouty, being quite unpleasant. And that's against type. And I think it's progress for women that we are operating against type.
But it makes men uncomfortable. We've had two cases very recently on Love Island where the boys have been crying. And that's alerted men's charities to the idea that, oh, this is terrible, and men are getting really upset, and is there a duty of care for men as there is for women on Love Island? But the value, the gold in Love Island is seeing these full-grown men cry. I mean, we just don't see that. We don't see heterosexual men in the mainstream crying in the media. And to see them being comforted by their colleagues, their male contestants, their friends, I thought was really endearing. And it sends a message to the wider public that it's okay, you can cry, no one's going to hate you, and you can recover. And it's okay for men to cry. So I thought that's where the gold was in that part of Love Island. Toxic femininity, I think, is just women speaking out. It's women who are refusing now to just be compliant and kind. There's been some serious heartbreaks in Love Island after Casa Amor this winter series. It's been really upsetting. Being kind, being nice hasn't got those girls anywhere, and now they're trying a different tack. And remember, every cast of every season of Love Island learns from the previous. So all of the girls this series, winter 2023, saw Ekin Su last summer behaving just as she wished. She didn't give a damn. She crawled on her hands and knees, she hid, she told lies, she went behind Davide's back. She really went for what she wanted. And in the end, it all worked out great for her. She wasn't meek, she wasn't mild, she was assertive. I mean, you know, some of that behaviour wasn't that great, but the meek might inherit the earth, but the meek never ever win on Love Island. This has been Sally Baker, senior therapist, media commentator, giving you the latest take on Love Island winter 2023.